Hi, Raffy.
Hi, Matt. How's it going?
It's going great. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Thanks for taking the time out to talk to me, and
Oh,
nice
my pleasure. Where do you live?
LA.
Oh, nice. How are you liking it?
I lived here like half my life, so
You love it.
I like it so
Nice.
far. So, just to get things started, how did your relationship to the property, the June Farms property, first start, and what exactly drew you to the countryside? Because I'm sure, like as you know, like so many younger people, especially, like they're drawn to this big city life. But, what
Yeah,
drew you to wanting to be like in this beautiful rural space? And, yeah.
I had always fantasized about owning a farm. I think it's from having children's books that were set on farms be my favorite children's books. And I just sort of always dreamt about it. And I found this land on Zillow. It was 120 acres. There was nothing on it, not a farm, not a barn, not a road, no power. And I remember walking around with a realtor and just feeling calm and thinking, this is so beautiful. Like it'd be a joy to own this property. And then ended up buying it. And then the goal was to raise beef and pork for restaurants that I had at the time and do like a farm to table menu, and got cows, got pigs, built barns, like made it happen. And then didn't like the harvesting of them. It was like it made me so sad. It was way harder than I thought it would be for me personally. Like I really fell in love with these animals and I just couldn't do it. So that kind of made me have to change the plan for the farm, and then decided to invite people to the farm to see the animals. I did a little pop-up bar that was called June at the time. Um, and we sold them some food and some drinks, and they walked around and they saw the animals. And it was just really nice to see how happy that sort of experience made people. And then we started doing weddings and built cabins, and it's all kind of organically got us to where we are now. It's like really a dream. It's been so fun.
I was about to say that's an interesting trajectory, like from
I know, it's
farming
like
to.
that's why anyone says, "What's your plan in 5 years?" I can't even like think like that because my brain, you never know where life's going to take you.
Mhm. That's the good thing, though. Look where you are now.
It's a great thing, yeah, for sure.
Um, when you first got approached to do the June Farms reality series, um, what was like your initial reaction? Because from the looks of it, you seem like a more like low key type, and then the reality space can be like all your business everywhere all at once. So like, what was that like, and how was your?
Yeah, I would say that I was very nervous about just people seeing the behind the scenes stuff, especially my personal life. That was not really something I've been dying to share with everybody. But when you sign up for something like that, you kind of know what you're getting into. So I was ready to, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it right. And I want it to be authentic and be real. And I do feel that they capture that with this series. The other side of it is that I was sort of nervous about viewers seeing the venue's perspective of a wedding, because our whole goal is that when guests show up to the wedding, everything is perfect. It
Mhm.
seems easy, it seems seamless. And I think my worry was that if people now think of June Farms, they're going to think, oh my God, it's crazy, all that craziness that goes on behind the weddings. Every venue has this happening behind the scenes. It's so much pressure to execute these weddings that the biggest challenge is making it all seem seamless.
Mhm.
So, it's a little bit stressful knowing that people are going to see the sort of not so pretty side of creating a wedding.
Did you like getting to, like humanize that aspect? Because I feel like the reason people are such Karens these days is they think that you just show up, like you said, and everything's perfect. But you like getting to show like the behind the scenes of like, yeah, it takes a lot of hard work to actually pull off a beautiful wedding.
Absolutely. And just the staffing that goes into putting a
Mhm.
wedding together. It's not, everybody is not the perfect worker. We work with a wide variety of personalities at that farm. I mean, I love them to death. They're like my family, but some of them are more challenging than others, as you'll see in the TV show. So it's a lot of variables that go into making a wedding happen.
Love that. And obviously, June Farms, like we all know from the series, is known for their weddings, and you do a lot of weddings of all kinds, and that's one of my favorite parts of the show is like getting to see queer folk, especially, get to blend in effortlessly into the grand scheme of things. So, was that important
Yes.
for you to get to showcase, or like what was that like getting to put?
I mean, it's important. It's just always been the case. I mean, I'm a gay man, so it's like always been something that I've not really thought much about. It's just sort of a different, it's just a quality of mine that doesn't feel like top 10 things that are that interesting about me. So
Mhm.
anytime someone says that it's weird, we will get calls from gay couples that will say, uh, we just want to give you a heads up that we're gay. And I'm like, of course, no problem. Like I like the fact that anybody who's looking to get married at June Farms knows that it's a very inclusive farm, and no matter what, religious denomination or your sexuality or whatever, will welcome you with open arms. I mean, that should be everywhere, but it definitely is the case at June Farms.
Yeah, like you said, especially with all that's going on in the world.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
so like people like city people, like people in LA, the typical person have like stereotypes and maybe like preconceived notions about rural folks, especially rural queer folks. But I feel like this
Well,
series kind of turns that on its head and like upends those stereotypes. So what was it like getting a showcase of, people come in all different all on the spectrum and they're like all walks of life, points of view. So what was that like?
I think the thing that I noticed most is that people from bigger cities wear the worst clothing to a farm. They wear the brightest, whitest jeans, the brightest, whitest sneakers. They don't dress appropriately for the weather. It's like raining and they have on like a cotton knit. It's just, they don't understand rural life and like how you have to dress for it. So that's probably the biggest thing that I see. Otherwise, everyone's just a normal person. I mean, it is wonderful to see no matter what walk of life you come from, a horse doesn't care, a pig doesn't care, a goat doesn't care. They read the energy of all these people in such a wonderful way that everybody is just a human to them, and they just love on everyone. It's like one of my favorite qualities is that everyone that leaves that farm is in such a better mood.
Mm. It makes me think of that once we were like, I can't believe I have to show this farm with this muddy pit or something going on. It was like, it's funny.
Yeah.
So again, the reality space kind of has like, a certain rep, especially with like, putting everyone's business out there. Did you have to like watch anything to like prepare yourself or like, or did you just go in blind, guns a blazing? I'm gonna just
No, I'm a very I watch a lot of reality shows, especially like not necessarily competition shows, but I watch a lot of reality shows. I kind of know the drill. It
Mhm.
wasn't anything I was nervous for in terms of like the process. It was just more being willing to show my personal side and to show my business in a big scale, not always being ourselves perfect.
Mm. Oh, I love that. Did you have any queer role models in this media space growing up, or like, what was that like for you? Getting,
I mean, geez, Danny from Real World New Orleans was probably the first gay crush of my life. You're too young to know that reference, but gorgeous person. And then I don't know, just the stuff that like Andy Cohen is doing on Bravo has always been a big, big deal to me and I think other gay people. I think these days seeing so many different uh queer people in different walks of life, and knowing that you're not alone, I think is the best thing that can come out of reality shows.
Maybe Andy could host a June Farms reunion one day.
Yeah, yeah. Or Prime Video can.
Yeah. So, well, again, we're still doing better when it comes to like queer representation, especially with queer models in the reality space. But I feel like we're still getting there. So, how's it feel like maybe
Yep.
like, I don't know if you're thinking that far ahead that maybe like you could be that for someone who's growing up now or like getting this something like that.
I don't really, I'm very proud to be gay. It's not something that I thankfully have to worry about. I come from a very supportive family. My biggest worry growing up and coming out was just that other people were going to judge me. And over time, I just don't really care. So I feel fortunate to have this sort of mindset now where love me or leave me type of thing. Like I don't give an F if you have an issue with me being gay, like just then get out of my life. Um, I hope maybe that kind of confidence and that sort of belief that being gay is a wonderful thing will help somebody who might not be feeling that understand that. And if they are feeling that, they should come visit me at the farm and we'll sit down and talk.
Love that. Oh, that's too sweet. So, the show is obviously gets to showcase like behind the scenes of the venue, behind your life, but then also the behind the scenes of like your employees' lives and what's going on with them. And I love mess personally. So, is it like to get to bring this motley crew together and show like the messy real lives, and get to
Yes.
be entertaining in that way? Obviously,
Yes.
it's mess can be fun. I love mess.
Yes. I also do that. I do also love that in reality shows. It was weird because the staff is messy, mainly because they're all dating each other. They're all having drinks, just the nature of that. They're all young. They're all, attractive. They have attractive personalities. They're all interesting people. And that dynamic alone, whether there's a TV show or not, is kind of can be messy. It's you know, amplified when cameras come into it. I don't know why that is, but something just like gets turned up on their back and some sort of dial, and everyone is a little bit extra. And I think during filming, I wanted to be like, can you all relax for a minute? Because we have weddings to do. Like, to me, the weddings and them being, regardless of the cameras there are not being done well, was my most important thing that I had to get done. Like, I do not care if we had filming or something going on. These brides and grooms still paid for their wedding to happen. And I think sometimes because of filming, the cast was a little bit like, what we're filming today, it's like, get your ass back into the tent and start cleaning the silverware, whatever that might be. It was a little bit problematic having the cameras there sometimes, which I think you'll see on the show. But overall, it was a great experience.
And obviously the reason you're on got the show in the first place because your leadership skills and being like a pillar to people around you in the community. Regardless of the industry, what advice do you have for like queer people, especially who want to be like leaders and who want to help uplift people and who want to, kind of be a backbone for someone in a business or
Oh,
anyone?
wow. That's a good question. My advice, I mean, I don't know if my advice would be any different for a queer person. It's, I think, communication and being authentic and just being yourself and being truthful. I think that people can just like smell bullshit a mile away, and they just want to be treated like respectfully and communicated like directly. I think if nothing else, the one of the things that somebody will describe me is that I'm a very, very direct communicator, good and bad. And I think if you're going to be a leader, you have to do that, because if there's any gray area or any ambiguity, it confuses them, the message isn't delivered, and then you're almost setting them up for failure by not giving them the clearest direction. So I would say that you have to learn to be a very clear, honest communicator if you want to be a good leader.
I'm writing this all down as we speak too,
Yeah. I mean, and they also need to respect you in a certain way. You can't just like be a clear communicator who they don't like. That's also not going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have to put in your time to really connect with each person in some way if you want to have a really meaningful relationship with that staff member.
Love that. And like we mentioned earlier, the trajectory of June Farms has been so interesting, going from like restaurant farming to all that. And now that this beautiful wedding venue. What do you see? Again, I know you said you don't really can barely tell
Yeah.
5 years in the future. What do you see like but if you could, what could you see in the future for the property and then your hopes and
Yeah. So we're allowed to, like with the town, to build 20 cabins on property, and we currently have like 9. So I'll probably build a few more cabins. I'm just trying to like save money for it. It's expensive. So once I have some money saved up, I'll build another cabin. And then I do have another goal of putting a pool on the farm that can be used for the cabin guests. We hope to have that up for next summer. And then also to do some sort of like private club experience for local people who can also use the pool. So those are the 2 things: more cabins and a pool.
Oh, that sounds so fun.
And a donkey.
Yeah.
I really would like a donkey.
That sounds so fun. Hopefully next time I'm on the East Coast, I'll be able to maybe check it
Yes,
out.
please.
And just to end things on a fun note, if you could pick 2 castmates to compete with on a reality competition series, what would that
Well,
series
what's the
be?
competition?
I'll let you pick. What would the series be, and then who would the castmates
Oh God,
be?
that's a good question. I mean, if I had to do Amazing Race,
Mhm.
I'd probably do it with Leighton. If I had to do some sort of like cooking show or like a 2-person Big Brother
Yeah,
situation, I would do it with Tess.
period. You'd be the June Farms dream teams.
Yeah. I see
Well,
Tess and I having like a talk show of our own at some point in our lives.
period.
Yeah.
Well, Matt, thank you so much again. That's all the questions I have for you, but can't wait for more
Yeah.
predictions.
Pleasure to meet you. I hope I meet you in real life sometime.
Yes, hopefully. Thank you,
Okay.
everybody.
Have a great day.
Thank you.